Of the 5 pieces of paper I could have chosen to serve as inspiration for this poem, I unintentionally picked the one that contained the 10 words that have lived on the tip of my tongue, but never in the air released from my lips, and I proceeded to write. 2 children, abandoned by their fathers, left to make meaning of the separation in front of bystanders, one on a cross in Calvary, the other in a hospital room in Brooklyn. Both cry, my God, why have you forsaken me? And then, nothing. My subsequent combination of words failed to deliver an impact, and failure took over my feelings until I recognized that my attempt to deliver those stories side by side could not be done, because comparison only works when you know more than one of the options. And only one story was recorded in the gospel, so I decided that in order for you to understand why one said nevertheless and the other said never again, I had to tell the other's story, mine. My abandonment did not come from being the savior of the world. It came from being a little girl whose prayer could not save her father from dying. A prayer trying to sway the will of God already decided, unknown, until that moment in the hospital room where she saw people's heads shake as a response to the question of what happened, until she felt her feet walk the furthest they possibly could, until they found a corner where her back met wall, butt met floor, head met hand, tears met cheek, to cry over a man she would never see in this life again. My father took my father away, and they both abandoned me in the process. And even 8 years later, the reality of those words still causes pen to slow against paper. The vapor of life apparent with a blank background. I still have not found the right words to communicate what abandonment feels like. Abandonment. A word that forces you to reckon with the weight of its meaning in the way that it takes up space in your mouth, the way that is antithetical in its pronunciation, not allowing you to leave any syllable behind, the way that it rightly has the same amount of letters as her identity, because abandonment sticks with you. Sticks with you in the way you tell yourself your daddy is not dead, he's just at his job, when you rob grief of its rightful due, with the way that you refuse to say his name because abandonment is too painful. But now, I am convinced that my God, why have you forsaken me, was less of a question and more of a statement that the truth hurts. That no one experiences loss and stays the same, and body and voices must express to stay sane when something is broken, especially hearts. Jesus said those words for me, so that I could be free to let them out, to shout and scream and doubt and seemingly deem God is not worthy to be trusted, but I learned that he is. That those 2 children were never actually ever abandoned at all. That the fall obscured their sight just for a little while, because it wasn't the father's style to ever leave his children alone. And he didn't. And he hasn't, and he never will, because abandonment cannot kill love.